Hi, welcome back to Plot Twist Please. This is the soft spot here, and I'm Shemaya. So today I wanted to talk about something that I guess is a little bit meta, but I feel like this whole podcast is kind of meta. Performative self-growth. So this is a concept that I've been toying with for a while just because I am an autistic person who tends to have very black and white thinking, and especially when it comes to morality, like there are things where I'm like, oh, if I think this way, that means I'm all the way good or all the way bad. And sometimes I have to remind myself not to put those same borders and strict rules on other people. But that aside, I've been thinking about the notion of being a person who is a, I guess, quote unquote at this point, public figure whose whole shtick is self-growth and self-improvement. I want to talk about how that can be counterproductive sometimes, because I have felt as of late that I need to be transparent about how everything that looks great, everything that looks like success or inner or like having done inner work or self-growth isn't necessarily that. In the season that we're in, as we approach summer, as we approach a time where lots of people are making changes in their lives, whether it's applying for grad school or getting married or buying homes or moving or making some sort of large life change, or maybe you're just in a mode where you're going to have your hot girl summer and your lukewarm girl summer, what have you. You just want to have the summer of your life or change your life some way in the next 3 months. I think that's very much a seasonal mindset. I think that this is the time of year where people start thinking like that. And knowing that, I think a lot of people are going to start seeing on their Instagram feeds and such how to change your life in 3 months, or how to change your life this summer, or how to glow up this summer, or how to become a different version of you. That's all going to happen. And I just want this to be a reminder to you that it doesn't always have to happen that quickly. Sometimes it does miraculously, but that's not normal. It's not normal to change your entire life in 3 months. It's not normal to reach some higher level of dharma or whatever. I'm a Christian, so I don't believe in that, but it's not normal to change your entire world in 3 months. You can change your mindset in 3 months. A good habit, any habit, is built over a course of 3 months, studies say. And maybe that in turn changes your life. Maybe that changes your circumstance. Or at the very least, it changes the playing field you're working with, because you have plucked yourself out of your current playing field and put yourself in a new one that is going to launch you into who you're supposed to be. I think that's wonderful. I think that's amazing. I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think change can be beautiful in that sense. But I also think the pressure of change can bring so much anguish and stress and anxiety onto people, especially when you are committed to the idea of being completely different in 3 months, or having a completely different life in 3 months. Now, it can happen. It can happen and has happened, sometimes by force, sometimes without that person's permission. Sometimes people flow in and out of our lives, and then that forces our lives to change. Sometimes our circumstances change, and then we have to adapt quickly. Maybe our lives are completely flipped upside down without our own say. That happens. And big ups to those people who make it work and who turn it into something great or something manageable even. But I want to remind you that if you're listening to this and you're neurodivergent, even making your life manageable is a win. Even being able to wake up in the morning and look forward to the day is a win. Having people who, if you broke your leg tomorrow, would be able to help you get to work, or would be able to bring you food, or would be willing to send you money, or able to send you money, even if it's $5. Having people like that, you're rich, boo. You're rich. Your life is already at a different level. And I just want to reiterate to you in this little short snippet as you make your commute, or as you enjoy your free Saturday, whenever you're listening to this. I want to reiterate to you that lifestyles are so vast, and what is a big deal to you might be a small deal to someone else, but it could be literally life changing for you. You learning how to have consistent meals throughout the day that are nutritious and that you like to eat might change your entire world. Listen, it's changing my world right now. It is changing my world, okay? You being able to afford health insurance could change your world. Could change, honestly, a lot of people's world right now. A lot of people's worlds. If I'm being for real. If I'm being for serious. All that to say, I hope you know that, yes, it is possible to change your life in 3 months over the summer, but it is more probable that you put down the groundwork to change your life. And that is so important and fundamental. Laying down the groundwork, assessing what you want your life to feel like, assessing what your life feels like now, and figuring out what you want it to feel like, that's big. That's big. And a lot of people don't do that until much later on in life. So if that's where you are, congrats, babe. You're doing great. You are kicking the door down. The door is shaking off its hinges. You're killing it. Well, that's all I have for you today. This was a really, really short one today, but I'm going to be more consistent with this. I'm going to try to have them up every other day, because that way I stay consistent. You know how it is. If it doesn't happen every day or every other day, it's just not going to happen. So that's what we're going to try to do. Okay? All right, y'all. Be blessed. Have a good day. Stay weird. Bye-bye.